Normally, I like to talk about kind of big picture things, but over the last couple of months, I've hit on the idea of transitioning wealth over generations, and I want to press down on that a little bit just to give you an idea of the impact that it can have on your family. So, over the last few months, I've listened to lots of news reports talking about how expensive things have gotten. You may recall in our last market update video, I talked with Scott about the price of M&Ms being more expensive. I don't need to tell you things cost more today than they did a few years ago. But I like to digest numbers for myself. So I went back, picked a point of reference. From the time I was born, 1975, the average household income is up 6 times. So people are making 6 times more money than they were when I was born. But the average home in America is up 8 times. And the Dow from the time I was born until now is up about 40 times. What that says to me is there's incredible power in 2 things. Number one, owning things, whether it was a home or whether it was the Dow Jones or probably a lot of things that you could have owned over that period of time. Ownership meant the ability to do better in terms of keeping up with the cost of things than simply depending on our wages, on our income. So it's important for our families that they own things. It also shows the power of time. So over the last 48, almost 49 years, that dollar, let's say, invested when I was born, being worth $40 is incredibly powerful. So as I look at my family, and I think that it's equally applicable for many of you, is I looked at what if I wanted to help my boys, the average age, so we've got from 24 to 16, let's just do the math at 21, and I wanted to help them for 10 years. So I'm going to put away $150 every month for 10 years. Now, at the end of 10 years, I've put away $18,000. I'm not doing any more, and they're 31 years old. So, taking that example at 8%, I've put away money for 10 years. I've put away $18,000. They're 31 years old. We're not putting any more money away. If they don't do anything, now, in practice, I would probably have some sort of matching, so the numbers might be a little different, probably higher in terms of if I'm putting away my money. One of the ways that I like to use capital is to teach. And so if I was putting away some, I'd probably do it in some sort of matching formula. But let's say for the sake of example that I didn't. I put away $150 a month for 10 years at 8%. At age 31, I stopped. And the money sits there. It earns 8%, again, just as an example, until their age 60. So from 21 to 60, I've put in $18,000. Assuming an 8% rate of return, at age 60, again, I've only put in the $150 a month for the first 10 years. At age 60, they'd have $277,000. At the age of 65, assuming they're still working, they would have $412,000 off the $18,000 that I invested. So for me, the ability to find ways to sacrifice, and you can imagine if I were doing it in a matching format, it would be twice that much. I put in 150 and they put in 150. They'd have almost $1 million. And if I were able to do it with them, or if I were able to help them and they funded it in, for example, to a Roth IRA, that, again, in the first example, $412,000 at 65 would also be tax-free. So it's one of the things that I think what we know is our kids will likely live longer than we have. Means that in a lot of cases they're going to have longer in retirement. They're going to need to save more money. Our job is to begin the process of helping them develop the power to help themselves. In reality, $412,000 even tax-free in 40 years? It's not going to be what it is today, but it's a great start. And more importantly, designed purposefully, it can help teach them to help themselves, to save money, to begin that process and to understand. Again, the most important thing that they have is time. It is much easier and better, quite frankly, in my opinion, for us to help them now so that they can develop these things and so that, quite frankly, the capital can grow in their accounts and in their name and begin that process in and for them. And it's a lot easier for us to start helping now. Our team is here. We're excited to be able to help. I've been personally really pleased at the number of people who have reached out. Either they've already started helping kids or grandkids, or we've been able to help start them. We've had lots of calls with kids and grandkids. I've talked to more 18-year-olds since all of my, over the last few months than since all of my boys lived in the house. So it's been really neat, but equally neat is the idea that a lot of these young people, not only are they going to have some beginnings of funds transferred to them, but more importantly, they're going to begin the process of learning. They're going to begin the process of saving. If our team can be of help, we're here. We're happy to be a resource for anyone you care about, friends, family, colleagues, co-workers. Don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.